up or something in the nursing home, and I wanted to cut that part of life short. So I always ate plenty of whipped cream and animal fat and sugar and so forth. And it didn't work. I just kept living and living and living.
Charlie Munger, create an anti-vision for your life. Basically, instead of setting a vision for your life that is exactly what you want, you first write an anti-vision describing what you definitely don't want.
The cookie jar is something I invented. As you all know, your mom has a cookie jar, and sometimes you might have an Oreo, sometimes you might have a Chips Ahoy, sometimes you might have an oatmeal raisin cookie. You never know. It's just in there. My cookie jar has every single failure and success of my life, something I overcame. So what happens in time of life when you're stressed out and things get bad, even the hardest guy in the world, me, everybody thinks, and I think I'm the hardest guy in the world. You gotta believe that. You gotta believe you are something. I will, in my mind, reach into my cookie jar, and sometimes you forget how hard you are in times of need. Because you're stressed, but you forget, I'm a fucking Navy SEAL, I'm a Ranger, I'm this and that, but you forget all that because your life sucks. I calm down, take that 1 second, get control of my life, reach in the cookie jar, and you're now the only person in history to do this, and this. Put it back in the cookie jar, reset my mind. You have to remind yourself of how badass you really are in times of need.
Goggins uses this to push through challenging situations. Fill the jar with all the difficult things you've overcome in the past. When you're facing a new challenge, reach into it to remind yourself of your strength.
I think certainly being focused on something that you're confident will have high value to someone else.
The 5-hour rule is a concept that has been attributed to Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. The rule suggests that individuals should spend at least 5 hours a week on deliberate learning and self-improvement activities. The rule involves setting aside time every day or week to learn something new, whether it's reading books, attending classes, experimenting with new ideas, or networking with others. Elon Musk has often talked about his own approach to learning, which involves dedicating significant time and effort to reading, studying a variety of topics. He believes that continuous learning is essential for personal and professional growth, and that successful individuals are always seeking new knowledge and skills. The 5-hour rule is not a hard and fast rule, but rather a guideline to encourage individuals to prioritize ongoing learning and self-improvement in their daily lives. It can be customized to fit individual schedules and lifestyles. The key is to make a commitment to continuous learning and growth. The Power of Doing Nothing by Albert Einstein. There is a quote often attributed to Albert Einstein that goes, "The monotony of solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." This quote is often cited as evidence of Einstein's belief in the power of doing nothing or engaging in unstructured, quiet activities as a means of stimulating creativity and innovation. The idea behind this quote is that when we allow our minds to rest and wander, we create a space for new ideas and connection to form. This is why many people report having their best ideas while taking a shower, going for a walk, or engaging in other seemingly mindless activities. The power of doing nothing is not about laziness or inactivity, but rather about intentionally creating opportunities for minds to recharge and make new connections. This can be achieved through activities like meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking a break from work and allow ourselves to daydream.
I hydrate, I drink water, and then yerba mate is my favorite form of caffeine.
Are you waiting? How long are you waiting from
90
waiting?
to 120 minutes.
Huberman recommends delaying your morning coffee for 2 hours after waking up if you want to avoid afternoon caffeine crash. Let's listen more what he has to say.
I don't drink any caffeine until 90 minutes or ideally 120 minutes after I've woken up for the following reason. During sleep, during wakefulness, and the longer you're awake, adenosine builds up in your system. Caffeine is an adenosine antagonist functionally. I realize it's a competitive agonist for you aficionados, but it basically blocks the adenosine receptor's functionality, so to speak. But when that caffeine wears off, you're going to get a big crash because there's going to be a surplus of adenosine. By waiting 90 minutes to 2 hours to ingest caffeine, 90 minutes to 2 hours after waking to ingest caffeine, it's a little bit of a struggle to learn how to do this, but your natural adenosine system, the adenosine tapers down very, very low as a consequence, and you don't get that rebound in the afternoon.